And we are live. This is Game Day Live at the Noun Hotel in Norman, Oklahoma. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with Ronnie Crodell. And introduce your guest.
This is Jessica. She is our executive housekeeping manager.
Your hotel is incredible. I've never been in there before. This is the first time to walk through the doors, and I have been blown away from the entrance. Just the foyer alone is perfect. Every little detail down to the play like a champion on top of the elevators as you get off. It's fantastic. This place is incredible. Open in September?
Yes, we opened up officially on September 22nd, and it's been nonstop since we've opened.
Very cool. So we're here to watch the OU Texas game as they are getting ready to kick off. You guys can come on in here and join us at the Noun. This lounge is unreal. They've got giant TVs everywhere, incredible bar. You get food downstairs. It's the perfect place to watch an away game here in Norman. So come on in and hang out with us. Any expectations for the big game today?
You know, I got to say, Boomer Sooner all the way. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's really going to come down to field goal at the end. It's always OU Texas game is always a good game, and so I'm going to say 3 points.
Yeah.
By OU.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel?
Same
3 points for OU. You guys picking OU victory?
Yeah.
I had to go with Texas today, 35-28. In a hard-fought matchup. This game is so weird. You just never know what's going to happen in the Cotton Bowl. Texas comes in playing just a little bit better football at this point. Oklahoma struggled last week defensively, but I think the Sooners have got a real big chance to bounce back, no question.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good game for them, especially on defense, to figure some things out, and hopefully Texas doesn't shred our defense too bad.
No.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us out, and we will be here for the duration through the OU game. I'll probably stay up and check out some of the OSU game while we're here, too. Once again, this bar is incredible. The expectation, I'm telling you, prepare yourself for it's a beautiful place. If you've never been into the Noun, for sure, here in Norman, Oklahoma. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Ronnie, I'll probably catch up with you here in a little bit, around halftime or so, and we'll see what's going on here at the Noun.
Sounds great.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right, the game has started. Mark Rogers will be here shortly. If you guys are watching the pregame there in KOCO, you saw him there with our good friends and doing the pregame show. So shout out to Mark. He'll be here in a little bit. Texas has got the ball first as we begin this game. Once again, stick with us throughout the game. I'm just going to sit here and just kind of watch it with you. So far, so good for the Oklahoma defense. No doubt that's a nice play there made by Danny Stutzman. You know, coming into this game, I know a lot of people were down on what's going on with the Oklahoma defense. And what I tried to tell you all week long is there were so many missed assignments and misalignments that and I hate to say it like this, but they can't be as bad as what we saw against TCU and Fort Worth. And so the expectation for me today is to probably see some of those things corrected. You already see a nice 3-and-out scenario here for the OU defense. That's a confidence builder. That's what you want to see early in this game. And here comes the Sooner offense. Dylan Gabriel with they're showing right now the big hit that he took last week against TCU. I was setting up earlier and I missed whether he was going to be starting or not, but what we saw, I mean, obviously Belleville out there now, but what we saw him warming up, man, he was convincing as far as he get ready to go today. That was an excellent performance by him. A little gamesmanship there by Jeff Levy and Brent Venables with Gabriel. Bevel looks the part, no question. 6'6", 225 is a massive man. He can definitely see over the line of scrimmage. We saw him a little bit in action in that Pitt Bowl game a year ago. Obviously, last week, not a great performance by him. Kind of a tough situation to get in. The game was, in my opinion, already lost by the time he took some snaps. So it's a tough spot. Hopefully, with a little preparation this week, taking first-team snaps, we'll see him perform a little better. Look, a couple of run plays to start this thing. For me, it's really the only way that Oklahoma can go. I feel like that offensive line is growing as the season's come along. I think these guys have played pretty good football so far, had a pretty decent performance last week against TCU. So if I'm Levy, I'm running the ball as much as possible in this one, not even just because it's the backup in there. I mean, just in general, it seems like the smart way to go as this offense tries to figure some things out and move the ball down the field. Big time third down completion there from Davis Bevel. Let's see who caught the ball. It's a great pass. Drake Stoops, one of the most underrated players I think you're going to find here in the Big 12. They got to get him involved. Like, obviously, you're not going to focus on him like you're going to focus on Mims. But, Willison and Stoops need to be guys that jump off the stat sheet if they're going to find a way to win this game, no doubt. I don't mind a little creativity here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the live stream. Richard Ramirez saying, "Where'd you get the shirt?" I think you could probably find it on any of Ethan's Ethan Downs social medias. I'm buddies with his dad and his family, and I've interviewed him several times even when he was high school. So I'm a big Ethan Downs supporter. I can't wear the crimson, obviously, with my Oklahoma State affiliation, playing ball there in Stillwater, but I can definitely support the Weatherford boy. There's no doubt. I love when Oklahoma kids have success here in the state of Oklahoma, whether it's in Norman or in Stillwater. That's a great family. He's a great kid. So, yeah, I'm team Ethan Downs today. And then for those who don't know, and I'm sure that most of you do, I have a real hardcore hatred for the Texas Longhorns being the only team that I didn't beat when I was at Oklahoma State in this conference. And it was a hell of a conference back then. So that's saying it's pretty big time accomplishment. So, yeah, anything I can get a horns down action, sign me up on that. What's up, Wet Blankets? He says this is going to be a long day for the Sooners. I think it won't be as bad as people anticipate. I think we're in for a better game here. I've got Kansas on out here too. TCU up 3-0 right now. The Jayhawks have the football. The one thing that people don't realize about Kansas is the thing that's kind of gotten them here. They've scored 208 points so far. They lead the Big 12 in scoring offense. When you look at this offensive line for Kansas, they've been extremely impressive, and they're relatively young. The two youngest offensive lines you're going to find here in the conference are with Kansas and Texas, which is part of the reason why I feel like the Texas defense will have a bit of a bounce back here. They're going to be to win some one-on-one matchups against this Texas offensive line. Kansas, very, very young, but very, very good at the point of attack. These guys have really been the catalyst to the success on the offense for the Kansas Jayhawks this year, and they're not going to be heralded as much as maybe they should be, but not too bad of a start for those guys. Big 3rd and 10 coming up for Kansas. TCU scored, I think I want to say it was the opening drive, kicked that field goal. Mark Rogers will be with us shortly as he is on his way down from the KOCO studio. Hardest working guy in radio and TV here. Oh, big time play. Oh, if you don't have Kansas on, try to, like, I'm doing a little split screen action here, and it's the setup here at the Noun is unbelievable. Like, it is a pretty incredible deal here. Big time 3rd down and 10, just failed there by Kansas. They're getting ready to punt it off to TCU. TCU dangerous in special teams. There's no doubt about it. I'm struggling to believe that. Like I picked Kansas to win this game. You got to give Max Duggan and crew a lot of credit. Those kids, they show up. There's no doubt, and that kid is playing as good as any quarterback in the country right now. Incredible performance by him last week, mentally and physically. All right, back here at the Cotton Bowl. Stutzman in, making play early defensively, looking a little more competent, big time for the Sooners. Texas getting the ball out quick. Pass rush having a hard time getting there in that short amount of time. 3-man front once again for the Sooners. I think we're going to see this for the foreseeable future until they figure out what to do with that secondary. Ewers is accurate. He is decisive. He plays like a veteran. You can just tell this kid is the real deal. Obviously, one of the highest touted quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school. Goes to Ohio State first, ends up transferring here back to Texas. They're pretty high on this kid, and they should be. You know, last time we saw him, he was out there against Alabama doing big things before he got hurt. First game back here, and all of a sudden, already looking the part. Little swing pass out to the right. You know, trying to make Oklahoma run sideline to sidelines here, and that's a good play call. Good play design. Call Oklahoma off guard. All right, quick break there with OU Texas. For those just tuning in, Mark will be here shortly. He was on the KOCO broadcast and the pregame show, so he's headed down from the studio. If I had to guess, he'll be here in the next 20 minutes or so. Max Duggan out there putting on a show again. That kid is accurate. You know, who would have guessed? He wasn't even slated to be the starter coming into the year. Starter goes down with an injury. Duggan steps in and becomes the most efficient quarterback in the college football for the first 4 weeks of the season. And he is starting off right today where he left off last week against Oklahoma. I don't think anybody could have anticipated that TCU was going to be this good offensively or have the weapons, because anytime they've got 4 receivers on the field, all those dudes can play. Good offensive line, great on the interior of that offensive line. He's always got a nice pocket. They run the ball successfully, and TCU is pretty good. I think I went with Kansas on the emotion factor again, though. At home, game day there in Lawrence, kind of a cool atmosphere. Ton of Kansas fans out early today. I love it for those kids, man. I love the fact that they're getting the taste of big-time college football. That's what I tell everybody who's a Division I prospect that I talk to. They're asking about where they should go, and I tell them, go to a place where there's a rich college football tradition, whether that's a MAC school or you have the chance to go to Oklahoma, wherever. Kansas is not that place. So for those kids to get a taste of what big-time college football is pretty cool for them. Derek, he does look great, and I'm right there with you. It doesn't necessarily fill me up with confidence either. I think we probably all should have known at the end of the spring, when they're looking for quarterbacks still, that they were going to struggle with the backup situation. There's no question the kid's got the skill set to have success, but you have the mentality. And I tell people all the time, I think playing the Oklahoma quarterback position is one of the toughest positions to play in all of college football. The amount of pressure that goes in as QB1 in Norman is significantly different when you consider the string of greatness that we've seen over the last 20 years or so. People have high expectations. So, for whether it's Dylan Gabriel, who, comes here from UCF, or a Belleville who's here from Pitt, these kids, they didn't initially sign up for what they're dealing with now, the position that they're playing with now. I mean, this kid a year ago was a backup quarterback in Pittsburgh, and today he's starting the OU Texas game. Like, I can't even imagine what that feels like to him, what his mindset was as he drove in on the bus. That's a different deal. Ooh. Got to make those now. Got to make those plays. Yeah, man, that ball was in Woody's hands. We could have just held on it. Like, that's the difference maker in this game, 100%, is turnovers and the ability to get them. And if you can get them, it really goes, it's a huge emotional swing. Woody Washington coming off a game last week that left something to be desired. Good to see him in the right place, though, and breaking up that pass, no question. But he's going to wish he had that one back. Ewers has got a great arm, man. He's accurate. He's not staring down his receivers. I mean, this kid looks the part. You got to give Hudson Card a ton of credit, too, from Texas for keeping up while Ewers was out. But there's no question who the better quarterback is. Texas tempo giving the Sooners a little bit of trouble. Defensively, you can tell just at the line of scrimmage, those guys are getting a little tired on this drive. Texas has quite the backfield. Roshan Johnson in right now. He is almost as capable as a starter. And Robinson, those kids can play. A little scuffle here. 78 for Texas, true freshman. That dude, and again, it's Alabama, blocked the number one player in the country and defensive player in the country, and some would say in the country, period, overall, for 4 quarters of football. That kid is a legit first-round prospect one day. Like, incredible for him so far this year as an 18-year-old to be able to play the kind of football that he is, starting at left tackle in this conference. Oh. A couple of guys you don't want to see get the ball a bunch today, Worthy being one. Just caught that pass. And Bijan Robinson, you can keep him under, you can keep him at 90 yards or under 100, even if it's just a hair under 100. That's a pretty good day. The last thing you want from him is 150, though. 150 on the ground, another 50 through the air is kind of what is a death blow to this Sooner defense. Texas on the board first. And we're going to say, look, Texas scores first. It is what it is. I will say this. No complete collapses by the Oklahoma defense. Like that's more than anything kind of what we're looking for. I would tell you last week, there was 21, 28 points scored on just breakdowns, mental mistakes, lack of, missed assignments, lining up improperly. That's the last thing you want to see here. So I feel like defensively, obviously they scored a touchdown, and you don't want to let the other team score, but where we were a week ago and to where we're at now, those are two different things. What's up, Ronnie? How are you, sir?
Perfectly fine watching this beat down in my den until Mark told me to come up. Did you take the elevator up?
Yeah, I took the elevator up.
They have the Longhorn, the skin of Longhorn.
Oh, did they? I didn't even notice that. Did you see the play like a champion across the top? That was cool. Yeah. Ronnie Wassel walking in. Steele Wassel's dad watched Steele last night to play Choctaw take on Deer Creek in a pretty darn good football game. Two of the top 5 teams in that division here in Oklahoma. They got after it. Steele headed to Akron right now. He committed to Akron. I think that he's going to get some other offers as the season goes along. That kid's got a lot of poise. Played his tail off last night. Choctaw pretty good. That was a good win for them at home. Glad I got to see it. I'll get to see if we can get Ronnie to come sit down with us here in a little bit. Oh, I'm good right now. Yeah. Kansas back on the field offensively. Score still 3-0. TCU. Kansas on their own 45 coming out. So far, so good for the TCU defense. I would have told you that this game was, I took the over in this game as one of my locks. I want to say it was at 68, 66. It's not looking good so far. Harold, we're already there, buddy. No chance with Belleville. Bring in Evers. There was a lot of talk about Nick Evers prior to this game. 4-star kid, talent, big arm, dual threat guy. He's got some wheels to him. You know, adds a little versatility. The thing that you know about Belleville is he's not going to run. He's not gonna do a whole lot of scrambling down the field. Takes away the quarterback run a little bit. Doesn't give you the options that a dual threat guy has. I honestly, in this game, if they put Braden Willis at the Wildcat and let him play quarterback, just to throw a wrinkle in there, I would have no problem with that. Like Levy, obviously excellent with dual threat quarterbacks, guys that can move around a little bit. Everybody wants one. And look, if you got to get creative in that spot, you have dudes that can get that done. Will is very capable of getting in here and taking a snap and running the running the belldozer essentially. I have no problem with that. If Oklahoma comes up with that, that's kind of what we're looking for here. When your starting quarterback goes out, you got to find a way to be creative, show the defense some wrinkles that they haven't seen before. And I think once again the personnel is there to do that. But I don't know that we're going to see Evers today. Got a little split screen action. That's the WWLS tent out there at the Great State Fair of Texas. Beautiful day down there in Dallas. Seen some highlights of last year's game, which to me, obviously I know that regime is gone and we've moved past it, but watching last year's OU Texas game was probably one of the top 5 football experiences I've ever had in my life. I've never seen anything like that. Caleb Williams, the performance he had was unbelievable. There we go. I love Farouk. I think he's going to be a star there in Norman. And they're doing a great job of getting him more involved with the offense. Everybody's kind of waiting on Theo Weiss, and I think we're still waiting on Theo Weiss. He showed us so much promise over the last couple of years, but Farouk is a bright spot, no question. Well, there we go. Willis in a quarterback spot. I love this. Hey, that's all it takes right there, baby. 4 yards in a cloud of dust. I love this wrinkle, and I love it that we're seeing it in the first quarter. This is fantastic. Oklahoma's offensive line, strength of this offense, they've done a great job so far this season. You know, all know who Beanbo is and the job that he's done since being in Norman. Somebody who does a great job, and these kids are coming along nicely. Last week being their best performance, expecting to see another step forward this week. Third and 5, falls short. They're going to go quick again. I'd go for it. 31-yard line. Oklahoma's got nothing to lose here. Right? That's the thing that we've got to acknowledge. Venables can be as aggressive as he wants to be. Obviously, you're going for it on 4th and 2. Gets it. 4th and 2. Great 4th down conversion from Braden Willis. That's a big, physical, fast kid. He's going to be hard to handle in that quarterback spot. There's no question. All right, Venables back in. Levy is a talented play caller. Like, that's the last thing that I wanted to see there from him was Bevel come back in the game and it immediately be a deep pass. Right? That's what you don't want to see. Bevel comes back in, it's a quick pitch out to the right. Give me the running game. I love that. It's going to keep them off balance. Because now what Texas is going to try to do is understand what this is going to look like. Is Bevel just going to throw it? Are they going to try to run it when he's in there? 2 straight runs. Wow. Offensive line just got annihilated there. Wow, that's just bad technique. We have to stick there a little longer. Texas has got some dudes up front. They've got some dudes up front. Big physical guys. There you go. Stoops getting involved. 4 down territory. Bevel changing up the play here. There he is. How are you, sir? Mark Rogers joins us.
What's happening?
It's so far so good. We've got a Braden Willis sighting at the quarterback position, which has been pretty cool.
That's what I thought.
Not too
Dropped
bad.
A little of that intel on the pregame.
Yeah, you did. I'll say this. Defensively, obviously Texas has scored a touchdown, but it wasn't due to just complete and utter breakdowns. So far so good for those guys as far as just showing up and lining up correctly. Stutzman's made a couple of great plays early, which is good. Willis looks the part at the Wildcat quarterback. Bevel's through a couple of nice completions. I mean, they're out there playing. Like I'm not looking at this game thinking, oh God, Oklahoma's holding on for dear life. Which I didn't expect to see that in the first quarter by any means.
Well, the Wildcat can help. I mean, I think it could be a really different look, and it can also help Bevel settle down a little bit.
Big time. Oh, I thought they might go for it again here.
Why not get points?
Right.
I mean, this isn't being guaranteed to be good.
Oh, he fakes
They
it.
got it. There you go.
Oh, are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
No one out there to defend.
Dude,
they must
look,
have seen that in film.
Someone sign me up for this all day. Like you're supposed to lose this game. There's no reason to not coach it like your hair is on fire. And yeah, Mark's 100% right. This is something as simple as that deep snapper or kicker, the communication there, they have to just count. They're counting guys on the line of scrimmage to get out to the edge. They're missing a guy out there. Those two are the only people that know what's happening.
Well, I mean, we can watch this again on the TV. Is a terrible play by the Texas edge player because the kicker made no attempt to go to the ball. He just took off. If he's the guy that's going to kick it, then why are you defending that play that way by rushing in to where the kicker is not going to be? I thought that's poor fundamental football by Texas.
And I promise you, it's something that they practice. It's just one of those things that you have to have a coach tell you, watch the fake.
5. He's beat.
Yeah. Big time. That's a big time play by that
Sean
kid.
Jamison is Texas' best corner.
The thing I always loved about this as a player is like no one knows. Right. And so, the kicker and the deep snapper are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They don't want to do it, but they have to. Like, this is where we're at. This is what they've given us. That's a pretty cool play. He looked like he got it, right?
Yeah, he got it. I don't know why they're reviewing this. This is one of the things that in all of sports, when the review is fairly obvious, how many times you have to sit there and continue to look at it. And if it's so close that you can't tell, then there's no reason to keep looking at it for 5 minutes.
Because you can't.
You've made a call.
Right.
Boy, I like the fact that we're 2 box with the fair down there.
That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah.
We could see some interesting things.
There you go. Good to see Major healthy.
One thing that I did some research on this game this morning. I couldn't sleep after we froze to death last night out there in Choctaw.
We did, yeah.
And the team straight up that has won the rushing battle in this game is 22-2-1. In the last 24 games.
Wow.
And the reason there's a 1, it wasn't that there was a tie between the teams. There was a tie in the rushing total.
Oh, wow.
So, but, Oklahoma needs to stay in this game running the football. And if you look at the numbers, they've run for 220 a game, and Texas has not run for that much this year. So, K-State, TCU have really good rushing offenses. If Oklahoma can stay in it by running the football, then this game's going to go to the fourth quarter.
What was your final score for this? I went 35-28.
34-14.
Yeah. Oh,
I think that's a quarterback decision, and it wasn't the right one.
No, he should never do that. Like I don't see.
He's not a running quarterback.
He's not right.
This is the Levy offense, but that is a play that Dylan Gabriel would warrant,
right?
Not Jeff Levy.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Hurts.
Right. And at times I think it's okay to be obvious. Like
this is a big play right here.
Yeah, huge play.
Well, that's great effort by Gray. I don't know if he got there or not, but he was stopped in the backfield.
Wow.
And they're going to spot it short.
Ugh.
That is a momentum killer for OU.
Yeah.
This is a crucial time of the game right here. They have got to get a stop on defense here.
Woody Washington had a chance at an interception a little earlier in the game. I'll tell you that the secondary has been in the area that they should be in, right? There hasn't been any big time pass breakups yet, but there hasn't also been any. There's been one big play, and it wasn't a secondary issue as much as it was the middle of the field that I probably got caught up in the wash a little bit, but so far so good from that group. Evers is accurate, looks poised, looks super healthy, and they're not necessarily giving them a chance, Mark, to get in the backfield and disrupt him. Everything's been relatively quick so far.
It was a good fake by the quarterback. I'm sorry. This drives me nuts, man. It drives me nuts. I mean, and I'm sure that Brent is a defensive coach and his intelligence when it comes to defense is great, but the game is going on. I just don't want to see the head coach engaged in the huddle on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
I mean, it drove me nuts when Mike Gundy would do it on offense. And
Right.
I think that OSU took a step forward, Sam, when Mike Gundy hired Dana Holgerson, Todd Monken, and people like that to take care of the offense, trust them to do it.
I don't necessarily. I'm with you because I hated when Gundy did that. Also, I feel like there's some extenuating circumstances with the Oklahoma defense right now, based off of what we saw a week ago.
Okay, fair.
And so I don't mind him peeking his head in there to make sure those, because this is like you said, this is a pretty important possession here. They can find a way to stop these guys, and that'd be a huge win for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Mark, you want to go grab a drink or?
What would you like?
No, if you wanted to.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you abstaining?
Yeah, no, I'm good right now. I feel like it might be necessary in the second half, so I'm going to wait until.
Okay.
What was your score for the Cowboys today?
35-24.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. 35-24. I think it went 38-24 for the Cowboys. Kansas, we're still down 3-0 to TCU there at home. They've got the ball on their own 28-yard line. Moving out. TCU's, those boys will hit you. Can I tell you how much I loved our Big 12 this season? Like, it makes my heart happy that Big 12 football is as good as it is. Seriously. Like, coming from somebody who played in the early 2000s where I stood confidently and said that I played the best college or conference in college football, to see the Big 12 have teams like Kansas State and TCU and Kansas and Oklahoma State, I don't know what the high end looks like. I don't know if, the Cowboys or anybody's got a chance to ever look eye to eye with a Georgia or Alabama at this point. But as far as, I'd take this conference and line it up against any conference in college football. There's some excellent play happening this season. Yep. Is buy one get two free? Is that what he said? An India Pale Ale? Huh.
I didn't say that. I gotta forget what live all the time. Remind me.
That's great.
This is an Oktoberfest from Anthem, and it's really good.
Okay. You just brought me the Indian Pale Ale?
Well, no, they get. I mean,
oh, you buy one, get one of those for free?
Yes, that's what.
That's a real thing. Let me see that.
Woz was saying. So yeah, if you're close by, come take advantage of these great offers that you got today.
You mind if I pop this top?
Why would I care?
Now I'm curious.
IPAs are rough on me, so.
Wait, no, this is like the. Yeah, no,
I'll try it. Why don't we go get? I'll go get a sip of glasses.
We'll take a sip. The can is about as cool as you're going to see. India Pale Ale, deep full-bodied, hop-filled flavor and aroma. 7.3 on the alcohol. See this right here? 7.3 on the alcohol scale. Brad Pitt, he's going to hate the IPA. And we're back. Thompson in the backfield, big time handoff there. Obviously, Texas wants to run the football. We got a couple of backs like that. Roshan's going to play in the NFL also. I don't know what round he'll get drafted, but that kid's he's a player. Wet blanket on the feed here says down it. Man, it's too early to be chugging IPAs.
The feed's down?
No. I said he's asking us to down this beer.
Oh.
And I was like, no, it's too early to down IPAs.
I'm not 19 anymore. I don't give in to dares, right?
No,
Why would you want to do that?
I do. I typically would have down the beer.
All right, well, what are we trying here?
This is the
Kochendorfer
Brewing Company India Pale Ale.
It's from Duncan, Oklahoma. How can it be bad?
Yeah, there you go.
It can't. That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, as far as IPAs go, that's pretty good.
It's a mild IPA.
It is a mild IPA. Had a nice taste in the front. Didn't hit you in the back. That was good.
Hey, I took some heat on Twitter yesterday for shaming pickled onions on a tray of barbecue. Can you join me in my rebuke of that? How do you feel about having pickled onions on a tray of brisket and ribs?
I mean, I'm not going to eat them.
Yeah. Well, what are they doing there?
I mean, I think it's just a nice garnish, right? Are you supposed to eat those? People eat that with their barbecue?
People said that they eat that. They said it was a trash take. That I said, no, I don't want pickled onions on my barbecue platter.
I've never. Do you guys, let us know, comment. Do you eat the pickled onions that come with your barbecue? I don't even. If you're giving me a tray full of meat, the chances that I'm even acknowledging that there's anything else on the plate is slim to none.
Yeah, I'm there for the food. I'm not there for the decor.
No. Although, I do like the little basket of pickles that they give me at Ishans.
Okay, I'm not a pickles fan, but I'll respect pickles.
Yeah.
I mean, a pickle is fine with barbecue, or an onion, but a pickled onion is pink. It is just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got
that's live. Yeah. Sorry.
Might as well identify yourself. Yeah. Say hello. How's it going?
That.
We can get an interview.
I didn't realize the bathroom was over there. We have to move that chair.
Wide open. See, that's why I was a little afraid. That was a sweet fake punt play, but you don't get points on the board. It's a little bit like the game we saw last night, Sam. You know what I mean? One team has moved the ball into the red zone and then no points, and now all of a sudden you're down 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And the Wildcat is nice to keep him in the game, but it ain't going to keep you in the game at 14-0, 21-0.
Correct. They've got to answer here. Texas up 14-0. 12 minutes ago in the second. Yikes. Hank Hall says the pickles keep the barbecue moving down the line. Chris says eat them. Brad says I eat them. I don't know, man.
Well, the good news is there's more for you guys because I'm going to tell them no.
Yeah.
No thanks.
It's just unnecessary space fillers. Right? Like
yep.
We got to get a look at the menu here. It's about time. I'm feeling that.
I'm not sure that they have it in place to put food up here yet, but we can probably find some.
Okay. I think downstairs I can get some food.
Yep.
At the half. How was your broadcast this morning? You look good.
Thank you.
Sounded good?
Good. I thought it went well. Well. How about the amount of points in this TCU Kansas game?
Yeah, I picked the over here as one of my locks. Didn't expect a defensive battle.
Not need a lot of overtimes. I think that says something about Kansas. If they can hold this TCU offense to what
they are, that's impressive.
Same. I feel like both these teams have leveled up to me in the early parts of this game because Kansas scored 209 points so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
They lead the league in scoring. I would have never. I respect TCU's defense, but I didn't see them as juggernauts by any means on any level. I thought the secondary probably a little better than I anticipated, but that also probably has to deal with the fact that they're chasing around one of the most underrated receiving corps you're going to find here in the Big 12 and maybe in the country. And so those kids in the back end of TCU are pretty good, but front seven didn't just jump off the page to me, but they've shown up in this one because Kansas is balanced offensively. They'll get you in that quarterback run. They'll hand that ball off successfully. They got a couple of really good backs there, a good offensive line. Like, this is an impressive showing by that TCU defense and the Kansas defense. TCU 3 points. I mean, come on. We saw what they did last week. They can score, and they're well coached, and there's a plan. They execute very well. It's this is a good football game. This is not it's 3-0. Look at this stinker. That's a good game.
Texas is, I think, doing a good job of maintaining, trying to run the football without throwing it a bunch. Ewers has been, for a freshman, he's only played just a few quarters of football. Has looked fairly composed in this environment.
Yeah, look, you can go out there, I don't care if it's at home or not, and start against that defense from Alabama and throw the ball the way that he did. There's a little bit of moxie to that kid. Like, he's got a real attitude to him.
Yeah.
And you love his intensity. Like, he's a dog, and he plays the quarterback position. Give me those guys all day long. You want competitive guys that are fierce in that spot. And he went out there as I guess he's not a true freshman, but a first-year starter against the best defense in football, against the best defensive player in football, and threw the ball well until he got hurt. Great start here in the Cotton Bowl. Doesn't seem like he's phased by very much. This is the first Texas quarterback that they've had in a –
yeah, wow.
it's been a long time. Yeah.
I think the mullet speaks of his confidence.
Right, because it's not even a good mullet.
No. If I had to pick a quarterback out of the lineup, I'm not going to him first.
No.
Here's the cool part about watching us today is that we're going to be able to give you analysis at the same time you can watch at the fair and potentially try to pick out who's going to throw the hot dog at Jim this year because he has had some projectiles come out.
Has he really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I think a woman threw a hot dog at him one year, and there was some other kind of food item thrown at him. I would suggest the pickled onions. If you were to throw something at you.
That's fantastic. I can honestly say
enough to eat.
I've never had anybody throw anything at me during a broadcast, but maybe that's something I should really strive to do. Like, that's awesome.
I think they're going to take their chances with Jim before they would with you. There's a reason.
Right. Completion there for Bevel, but the ball was so far behind Willis, he had to turn around and get it.
Look at those quarterbacks. I got to ask you on the Gabriel warming up situation, which is what I was told was going to happen and not play. Is that really have an impact on the outcome of the game today to try to deke your opponent in that way?
I mean, I would say no. I think it's all
no.
kind of just, it is what it is. There's not a whole lot that's going to be done in the 30 minutes that you have watched that kid warm up. Like, is your defensive game plan going to change significantly? I mean, and the other thing is Gabriel hasn't wowed me at that spot anyway. It'd be one thing if you had Sam Bradford out there and your whole defensive plan has to change because, that kid's a Heisman type of guy versus the backup. But Gabriel's been average at times for Oklahoma. So I think they approach the game. Like, the only difference is Belleville's not going to just beat you up in a running game, but it's not like Gabriel's running a 4-4 either.
Well, and another thing, it did not come down to him. Oh, okay. Well, his concussion protocol was either passed or failed this morning. The snaps weren't there and the reps weren't there in practice this week.
Right.
And it was determined before he walked on the field today with his gear that he wasn't going to play.
Right.
So I just think that those games aren't really necessary. I mean, you're going out there to try to win a street fight here today. You're not going to do it by subterfuge.
Majors is now playing the Wildcat spot. Kind of cool that we've seen multiple players do it. Belleville back in the game now.
That's a good.
Is it Bevel or Belleville?
Bevel.
Bevel.
Telegraphed.
Looked right at it. Yeah.
Telegraphed.
Oh, it's going to be a tough day. It's going to be a tough day, no doubt. At least they were able to stay in the field long enough for the defense to catch their breath. That's when you really start to see a snowball effect here.
Well, what time in the game do you think we'll see a backup quarterback? I mean, people have told me that there's really not anyone that's stepped up
Right.
to earn playing time as of yet, but you never know until somebody goes out on the field. You know what I mean, Sam?
That's 100% right. You just, I mean, look.
Remember, Mike Goody put Alex Cate in
Bro,
the game before Brandon Weed.
Were you at that game?
Yes, I was.
I will never forget watching it. I was in the stands. Alex Cate did not complete one ball in an entire half of football. An entire half, he didn't complete a pass. Gundy brings in Whedon in the second half, and that dude makes a comeback win over Missouri or Colorado, and it becomes the greatest quarterback in Oklahoma State history. I will never understand it. Some people just aren't practice players.
Yeah, and I can see why Brandon wouldn't have been because he was older. And
yes,
but I don't think that there's a quarterback on the bench at OU that's Brandon Whedon's caliber,
right.
or really maybe even Dylan Gabriel's caliber,
right?
But Kansas just fought a fumble trying to go into the end zone. That's going to hurt your over as well.
Yep, they did. In the end zone or on the one. Let's just hope it's on the one for Kansas. Oh yeah, that ball is out. And down, I would say it's on the one. I would say it's definitely like it goes over into the end zone here, but by the time someone gets possession, that ball is definitely on the half-yard line. Tough for the Jayhawks.
You think that's the football gods trying to correct this start at 5-0?
All right, Kansas, you've had enough fun.
Yeah.
Chris is saying booty time.
Could be booty time.
Yeah, there's not a.
The more Texas scores, the worse this is going to be. This is not a quarterback that can come in and throw it around the field everywhere.
So Harold Hayes here has been pretty bad down on Bevel in the first place, but now he's having like one of these realization moments where he says Davis Bevel is playing for OU. ... Yeah, sorry, buddy. It's tough. It's tough.
There goes Quentin Johnson running down a field 50 yards.
They're talented.
I don't think this is the type of crowd today that's going to throw anything at Jim, because I think that Jim is going to be probably preaching the gospel that the people want to hear today.
You think so?
Yeah, this is just not a great effort. I saw a tweet from a brother from another mother this week that said that OU has started conference play with 3 consecutive losses 3 times in the history of the program.
Total?
Yeah.
That type of success is just unbelievable.
0-3 3 times. Let me get.
When was the last time?
It's
not in my life. I mean,
yeah, it's been in. It was
90s.
It could have been under Blake, I think.
Okay.
But I will tell you. I'll give him man credit. Mr. Todd Lisenby had this.
Yeah, heck yeah. Shout out to Todd. That kid is so accurate.
Yeah,
Ewers is 100% in that category of best quarterback in this league, and I'll be honest with you. I get it. I understand that the kid is pretty good, but it's just been Texas had a bunch of good players in the last 10 years. A bunch of them, bunch of stars, like you just never. It's always like, well, okay, let's just wait and see, and they never really do anything. This kid is legit.
All right, 1931, 1961, in 1998.
Holy
And
crap.
31-61, they won the fourth game.
Wow. (1998) they lost 5 in a row. Javier Garza lets us know. Oh no. Third and 6, big time chance here. You got to stop. You got to get a stop. Oh,
Did he really complete that?
God.
Did he really complete that?
Yes.
Just throwing that ball away.
Unbelievable ball. Well, I can't believe he didn't try to throw it away. You think he was trying to throw it away?
No, I don't know. If he was trying to throw it away, it was poor execution. I don't know how that ball got where it did.
That's incredible. Like, I almost want to believe that he was attempting to throw it away before he threw that ball. Because that you're 2 defenders in between the receiver. Like, that's insanity.
Well, it's tough for Kansas. They've just given up a touchdown. Oh, man.
There's just a real Oklahoma needs to have 4 defensive linemen in the game. They do, because
Now,
given
I was going to ask you that on the way down here. In the goal line situation, they ran a 3-man front. I mean, I know you know more football than me. I've never coordinated a defense, but that defense does not work against the rush on the goal line.
No, dude, and it's not working right now. And I feel bad for Stutzman and crew because they're just eating guards all day. Like, they're just eating them. Like, when you have running backs like that, and you're running a 3-man front, and the guard is just like your steps are simple. If it's a simple zone right, as an uncovered guard, I'm checking the defensive end to make sure he's not crossing the tackle's face. If he is, I'm giving him a hand, let the tackle gather himself, and then I'm unscathed up to a linebacker. Stutzman doesn't have the body, all right, to deal with that. And then the big kid, not a Guebu. Is the Guebu? Yeah, that kid's got talent, and he's a thumper. There's no doubt, but just having an offensive lineman in his face immediately is not good for anybody.
Different front, and they go to the screen pass with all those guys in there. So that was a pretty masterful call.
Yep.
And check from the quarterback.
Wow.
All right, man. What do we got? Surely we got some people losing their minds. Did they see it all last week?
We literally have no
Did we
chance.
see it all last week?
This is pitch and catch for Texas. Surprisingly, after last week's game, we had more and more people join it. It's like, feel free to comment and let us know how you feel. If you want to just rant, if you want to drown your sorrows, maybe we should start playing a drinking game. Maybe that would help. Take a shot every time Oklahoma gets a first down.
Us or just the group?
The group, all of us.
Ugly. 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 Check my Twitter feed here. What gives? Trying to remain positive and hopeful, but OU is literally throwing everything at Texas and can't get any points.
Yeah. I'm tweeting, this is out of control. I appreciate the attempt from the Sooners. offensive staff.
$99 yards in 6 plays for TCU. What a momentum swing in that game.
That's a huge, huge, huge moment for them. Q Johnson had 83 total yards on just that drive.
So individually on defense, you mentioned, and I know that he had a really outstanding, first part of the game. Stutzman, I mean, a dude, right? I mean, he's a good player.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know you like Ethan. I like your shirt today.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Going to be a player. I mean,
Yes.
so it's not the defense is kind of puzzling too scheme-wise. You kind of have to adjust your personnel. I mean, I don't care what you've got. If you're going to run this 3-man front, you can scrap it now if it's not going to help you win games. It doesn't mean that some of these guys may be here and may not be here in a couple of years. So why try to make the players fit the scheme?
Correct. No, I would agree 100% with that. And we're just getting started, and so this is our first year to evaluate Venables as a head coach and Roof as a coordinator. I'm very much in the same boat that you are. Like, you can't put a round peg in a square hole. Like, it's just not going to work. And when I evaluate the Oklahoma's defensive front, the ends, like when you see true 3-4 defensive ends, those dudes are 6'6", 270. And why they're so big and they're in the tweeners like that is because they have to be able to set the edge and fight a tight end tackle double team. They've got to be able to keep guys on the line of scrimmage. So you have to have a little size there. And then the guy in the middle has got to be a grown-ass man. Like, you got to have – you're going to run a 3-man front. You got to have a nose guard that garners the attention of the center and both guards. Guys that when I look at my center and I call a double team, I know that I'm going to have to stick with this nose guard as long as I possibly can.
Mike Rose at Iowa State was a really good middle linebacker. Yes. He's a short, stocky guy that could really come up and take people. He's 240 pounds,
right?
And he had leverage. He had good low leverage.
Absolutely.
But that's not a Guebu. He's a lot taller, but
a lot of body to block. When you got guys like Siaki Ika in the middle, Mark, like the double team, the length of time that you have to stay in the double team with him versus what the situation here is in Norman is significant. So now when Danny Stutzman is being met with a guard, that guard has already moved 2 yards up the field versus Stutzman meeting that guard when that guard has still got a forearm on the nose guard. Right? He's still paying attention to the nose guard. That's all the difference here. Like, you're able to block linebackers in space for Oklahoma, which just gives wide open gaps for talented backs like Texas has. If we were going to see another quarterback, I feel like we'd see it right now at this point.
That's possible.
I appreciate, Lebby is things that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. Got to get the ball to Drake Stoops. You got to get the ball to Marvin Mims. Got to get Braden Willis involved. Like, I love when you and I can sit at a table and have these conversations and we see Lebby clearly, doing his very best to get guys that he knows can make plays from the ball in their hand.
You got to throw this. Clearly he was going to throw that.
Yeah.
There's just nobody there. That'll be a smart play that goes unrecognized. Hope Stoops is okay.
Yeah, he took one in the face there.
Just not happy.
Ton of success that this team has had over the years. Players that are on this current roster, they know semifinal games. They know elite level play, top 5 rankings. Like, this is a tough spot. You start talking about the morale of a football team and the makeup of a football team. To fight out of this situation is difficult. Rarely can I watch Oklahoma play and say that I can relate to them. I'd never felt that kind of pressure as a playing at Oklahoma State, but going from a 4-win team to an 8-win team, from an 8-win team to a 10-win team, like, there's a lot of cultural change that has to happen. There's a lot of conversation in the locker room, player meetings, and and things like that. Like there's a lot to fight through. Sometimes you wonder if teams like this OU team right now, they have the tools to do that, right? Like you don't go to Norman to go play an Alamo Bowl. You know what I mean? Like you don't go to OU to lose 3-4 games in a season. And some of these kids, these 4-star, 5-star kids, the reaction they have to situations like this isn't always positive. Like they're not built. They've been successful their whole lives. Whether it's high school. Oof, that was a smart, heady play by Grimes there. Like these kids have, from the time they left high school, it's been nothing but winning. So you get to Norman and you expect nothing but winning. And so when you don't, it's who do you look to for leadership? Or what are the conversations like? Are guys, is the locker room split? Do you got guys that are like, F this? Or do you got guys that are like, I feel like this roster more all in than people anticipate, but this is a tough time for OU football, no question. So, like, the problem here with this is, so now, once again, we're talking cover 3 here. For anybody out there going, defense has got to get more simple. There's no more simpler than that. The problem is you have to get Ewers off his mark, and I would want to try to hit him. The second that you do that, though, that kid's going to line up and fire a strike after 3 steps for a 60-yard touchdown. Like, that's the problem. Like, I promise you, Venables and Venables has had one of the highest sack number defenses in the league over the last decade. Like that dude knows how to get to the quarterback, but he's also had a bunch of NFL players in the secondary for him at Clemson, guys that were preventing guys like Ewers from making a bunch of plays. This is a different deal. They got to try to find a way to get pressure on him, but you can't have the secondary executed.
Jalen Daniels just landed on his shoulder and has not looked good for him.
No. It's a nice stop with the Sooners here.
Hopefully Daniels is okay.
Get a score here before the half. That would be big time.
That is a fantastic hairstyle for a quarterback. What do we got here? We got to stop. Okay. Look at Farouk run.
He's been
Brad
excellent.
Pitt says headed for some dark years. Hey, listen. It's way. That's not. There's some struggles going on here. You're playing without a quarterback at this point in time.
Right.
You have some really good recruits.
Right.
You also have some individual players that we talked about on defense that are good. I mean, I think we've kind of laid it out here. If you're trying to understand what's going on for OU, no, I don't think this means it's a couple of dark years. There are going to be some tough weeks in here, but I don't think there's some dark years. And one of the reasons that Oklahoma hired Brent was because he's a good recruiter. We've seen that impact on defense already of the guys that he's bringing in, the players that Oklahoma's been in on. And Lincoln Riley was able to offset the fact that he didn't have defensive players by being the elite offensive coach in the country, the best one.
Right.
And so you change the way that things go. Oklahoma's not going to win games anymore, I don't think, 48-45, which has been a lot of these OU Texas games here recently, especially the last 2. But what they might do is win games 31-21, something like that. But it's going to take some time to change that entire culture.
I'm a big fan of what Eric Gray has become to this team. He's done an excellent job becoming a 4-down back. He's great out of the backfield catching the ball, but he runs with a real hard-nosed mentality. He runs between the tackles, gets to the edges. He's been good. This offensive line, like I said, is coming along nicely this season. They're doing a good job.
It's a nice read.
Big time play by him. If you're wondering about the fight in this team, it's still there, no doubt. They're battling on the offensive end. Oh my God.
You got to be kidding me. He just got his feet tripped up. I thought that was going to be a touchdown.
What a gut punch to the Sooners. Was that Willis? Willis goes for the Tim Tebow jump pass.
I mean, the receiver was headed to be open, but he got his feet tangled up. Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law.
Great play call. And if the receiver doesn't get caught up, this is a touchdown.
Let's see it again. Oh, my gosh.
Dude, check out the dude that had this cojones to wear the USC shirt.
Where?
And he's just walking up to the bar, or USC hat. He's got a USC hat on.
Could be a spy.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That was tough. I don't even know what to say.
I think watching it the second time, the receiver wasn't like quite going into the open as much as I thought he was.
Oh, he wasn't?
No,
Okay.
I maybe see it again. Okay, hey, who do you like to win the Big 12 right now?
I was just you just read my mind.
I do read mine. I don't like to tell many people.
I'm sitting here watching TCU, and I'm like, man, they're really good. That's a good football team. Duggan's out there playing like he wants to play in the NFL one day. Like, it's what a weird transformation.
He didn't even start the season.
This is the second TCU quarterback that has done this, though, in the last 12 years. If you remember.
Look at that.
So Trayvon Boykin has, until recently, Oklahoma State, TCU, this is like 13, 14 maybe. The year before that, Boykin was a Heisman Trophy candidate. They put on the worst performance I've ever seen in my life in a football game. Both teams were terrible that day. Trayvon Boykin comes back the next year and is a Heisman Trophy candidate. I've never seen anything like that. Duggan, very much kind of the same feel. Like, how did you go from what you were to a year ago to somebody who really might be on some Heisman lists after this game?
Okay. Tell me who throws the ball well in the league.
Like
TCU does, Texas does.
Yeah.
Who else? I would say Tech doesn't.
No.
West Virginia could. Iowa State doesn't.
Yeah.
OU doesn't.
I would say Oklahoma State is still on the fence.
I would say Oklahoma State does.
You would say they do throw it well? Okay.
They do throw it well.
Oh, big pick.
Yeah, I got it. That was guy was open underneath, but he put too much air underneath it. So to me, Oklahoma State's got a really good chance to be in that game because I think their weakness is teams that can throw it. I could see OSU losing to Texas.
Yep.
And I could see Oklahoma State losing to TCU, but they've already beaten Baylor on the road. This would be as good of a shot to beat OU and Norman as they've had in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And not because they kicked the Tyreek Hill twice.
Even with 2 losses, I think they got a good shot to be there. If TCU, because they throw it well, could beat Oklahoma State, and that game is this year where?
I want to say it's in Stillwater.
I think it could be Oklahoma State, TCU. I think it could be Oklahoma State. I think Kansas State is legit in the mix to get there. Here we go again. See, he's there, but the tight end he's going inside. I don't know. He needs to go straight down the field.
Right.
He'd already almost got past his guy. Boy, that was a good.
I can't believe that he did that. He started running and thought, oh, no, I'm not supposed to do this.
Well, that rushing stat is going to continue today because Texas is going to. This is not the Tech game where Texas is not having success running the ball.
Right.
It's good defense.
That's great
when you
play
say
there.
they're not trying hard, if somebody's got that take, that's
No, I've been mad as hell
fair.
at that take all year long. Like, I don't want to hear that this team is not working hard, or that they're not engaged, or they're prima donnas, or any of that crap. Like, you cover this team, then have better takes than that. Watch the games. Like, just because they're failing doesn't mean they're not out there trying hard. Like, I hate that.
That's the last guy.
Did he move the ball? I feel like he moved the ball.
It's possible. Good call, Sam. Let it go.
Yeah. It takes a lot for me to point out mistakes the offensive line makes. I just had an argument with the high school referee that I felt like 80% of holding penalties against offensive lines are inaccurate. He looked at me like,
it's okay. Is it okay to grab as long as your hands are inside?
Yeah, as long as they're inside. That's not holding.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't see that for a guard.
Like, do you see where those guards are meeting those linebackers? It's an impossible. If you are a guard and you keep your pads level with the line of scrimmage, right, your back is going to make you right. And so when you get up in space and you're 2 yards up the field, that linebacker has got to acknowledge that you're there. He's got to pick a side of you to attack, essentially. Well, then any good guard is just going to take him where that linebacker has chosen to attack. And then the running back makes you right. It's just a tough being a linebacker in a three-man front is extremely difficult unless you've got Casey Hamptons in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have a dude. Like, I can't remember the last nose guard that OU had that I just loved, even in a three-man front roll. They've had some dudes, but a three-man guy those are different. You know who's getting them? Matt Campbell gets them. Matt Campbell's had a couple of
Chase
dudes.
Is a good guy. I think that Matt Campbell, the one thing that to me makes him a successful coach is he knows what he's looking for when he recruits.
Yeah.
And I asked him that question one year at Big 12 Media Days, and he talked about finding toughness and talked about seeing guys go do their job when it wasn't necessarily their part of the field, watching on the game film. And I think that he knows what he needs. He's not just going off of what star somebody has. Oh, wow.
I can't believe it.
I asked you last week when OU got down if they had a shot to win. You
Right.
said no. I kind of felt like I thought they might. But today, last year in this game, they're down 28-7, same deficit.
Yeah.
They came back and won. That's not the way. That's not this.
No, that is definitely not this. No Caleb Williams in the weights for this one. Look at this ball.
His poise is amazing.
Yes.
For playing as little as he has to go into this environment and be smart, even though not screen pass. If he's a freshman, he looks over there and blindly throws that ball where OU had it defended earlier this series instead of tucking it and taking the 3-yard gain, then it's 21-7 and the place is going nuts and we got a game,
Yeah. Yeah, totally different feel at that point. Sark is.
You don't wear those sunglasses unless you think you're winning. not the orange rim sunglasses.
I'll give him some credit. He's definitely seems like he's got more control of the team. He's calling the plays that he wants to call. There's a method to it for sure.
They've shown improvement.
Yeah, 100%. This is probably the best. I felt like in Charlie Strong's last year, I felt like he was 1 year away from really having a breakout at Texas. He had a clean house. And there was so much bad there. It took him a long time to do it, but I thought he was close. Since that moment, this is about as good as a foothold I feel like Texas has had on their program in a long time.
The Tech loss is going to be bad for them in terms of trying to win the conference. But I think they can still be a factor in deciding the Big 12 championship.
Right. Oh, that's absolutely pass
See,
interference.
Why? You're even with your man.
Just
You're not-
find the ball.
You're not beat at that point. But yeah, I mean,
Find the
and
ball.
I heard Brent talk about this. He says in practice, guys find the ball.
Right.
It's hard for me to believe that that's true. If you're practicing finding the ball, then that's what practice is for. You get
Like,
reps
that dude
in
is
practice.
clearly looking
he
at
has
it.
no idea where the ball is.
None.
That's an uncatchable pass. That is horrible defense. Horrible defense.
He picks that off if he finds it.
Yeah, if he's turned around.
If he turned around.
So
Yeah.
I don't believe Brent. I think that's also a bad sign. That is an excuse on the podium that if you're practicing the way you should, then the technique should be there. It's plenty of time to practice. That is terrible technique.
Yeah. Right. It's an uncatchable ball. You turn, you find it. Even if you don't catch it.
Jatavian Sanders is a player.
God.
He is a player.
Oh, boy. Oy vey. All right, let's see who's jumped off the deep end so far. Harold Hayes, you were off the deep end when you showed up.
Yep.
He says, fire Levy, fire Roof, start over.
I think Levy's done a good job today.
I think Levy's done a good job all season trying to work with what he's had to work with.
I think Ted Roof, by virtue, I mean, Ted's just a guy that Brent trusts, you know?
Right.
I mean, I don't, unless you get Brent to give up his, desire to control the defense, it doesn't matter who you're going to bring in here.
Ryan and Amy Molnex, you probably won't win again this year. Come on, guys.
They're going to win. They may win next week.
Come on,
They're
guys.
not
It's not
a huge
over
underdog
yet.
next week. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Yes, please do. You know what? I'm pretty fascinated by what's going on the right half of the screen over here. And what you're going to see, Sam, here in a few minutes is a complete rush of red.
Leaving?
That's right. Leaving. the Cotton Bowl.
Brushing past the WWLS tent.
Yeah, there will be the stadium. 'Cause, listen, I've been to many of these games. I know you've been to a few, but the last thing that you want is to be taunted by the other team in a blowout loss.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you just get out of there early.
Yep.
It works for both sides. People have experience in this. You get out of the fair, you go someplace and you change your clothes. So when you go to dinner, which you can't continue to be made fun of.
What is the worst OU game that you've been a part of in this game?
Okay. Well, in this one,
Yeah.
man, that's a good question. Well, it would have been the game where Texas won the national championship, 45-12.
40. Okay.
Yeah,
So that was
just Vince Young running around, something special. The worst OU game that I've ever covered. This is an easy one. Was 1997 at Nebraska. First time I ever saw a game in Lincoln, and OU loses 69-7.
Oh,
and that was the one that was famous because the Nebraska coaches allegedly walked into the OU coaches box in the press box and tried to tell them, "Hey, look, we're running base option the rest of the game. We're not going to do anything else. We're not going to try to trick you. We're just doing this." And then they left the box in the third quarter. They had no coaches upstairs.
Nebraska did?
Yeah.
They just – is that
That's interception. 69-7. They walked into the OU coach's box and said, "Hey, guys, peace out, offensive coordinator. We're going downstairs. We're probably going to get a shower and make some dinner plans, and we're going to run the option the rest of the game. Just letting you know."
Well, that's a pick from Bevel. We're getting some calls for the booty here at the Noun.
It's not – you know what? If I were Brent, I would make the booty call because it's going to show people that it didn't matter.
Right.
It tells you everything that they put the Wildcat in.
Yeah.
And it was successful.
And it was.
It wasn't bad. The problem is the defense is giving up 28 points.
If you're Sark here,
no.
You don't?
This is civility. You just take a knee and go to the locker room. You can try to do what you want in the second half.
Right.
They might score in this play. Who knows? They might run for
simple
a touchdown.
handoff.
Yeah. That's a nice run. It's
Yeah, it
some
is.
rushing stats. All
All
right.
right.
They got some nice beers here, and if it is a 2-for-1 special,
Yeah,
probably time
that's
to take advantage of that.
the atmosphere here at the Noun is incredible. Big shout out to Ronnie and his staff for having us out today. We talked a little bit with him to start this. If you guys are looking for a place to drown your sorrows, come on in, hang out with Mark and I here at the Noun. It's a tremendous atmosphere. I was not expecting this place when I walked in. Unbelievable. The pictures you sent yesterday didn't do it justice.
I told you it was going to be good.
This
Plus,
place
the
is
patio
awesome.
out here is fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to set up in the back. Next time we just need a long extension cord to get the stadium in the background. But this is a cool place.
The cord's not long enough.
This is definitely a cool place. We're going to head to a break throughout halftime, grab some food, grab some drinks, and we'll be back in the second half with you guys. Thank you so much for listening to and watching Game Day Live. All right, welcome back to Game Day Live. Sam Mason, Mark Rogers here at the Noun Hotel. We are on the second floor in this incredible sports bar that they've got up here. The atmosphere is tremendous. If you haven't been to the Noun, you have got to check it out. It was hard pressing my co-host here, my partner in crime, to make this a regular for us. I love this place. Staff is great. The hotel is beautiful. The term boutique hotel is a thing. This place is 100% exactly what you're looking for if you like great aesthetics, great food, great atmosphere. They've got it all here at the Noun. Come on in and check it out. Second half of OU Texas just started. Texas up 28-0 here at the half. We all knew this was going to be a tough game for Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel didn't get the start. I don't know anybody thought it was going to be 28-0 after the first half of this game. Really hoping to see a little more offense out of Oklahoma, some creativity as we watch Braden Willis here in the Wildcat formation right now. So tough place to be in, Mark. Oh, yeah, maybe. I think so. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, good.
I was like, oh, my God, it's broken.
You had $1 million idea. we do have 3 headsets here. So if you're close and you're mad or frustrated or you're happy or whatever, just come put this headset on. We'll put you on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to give you guys a place too. And this is the internet. You can say what you want to here. We got no restrictions.
I mean, they're probably maybe
yeah. I mean, no F-bombs or anything too crazy, but
restriction.
Yeah. Nothing that's going to make you want to punch you in the face. How about that?
That's good. No. Okay. I get my friend Jamie is great when it comes to being upset with the team. And he's sent me a couple of texts. It's going to be hard to actually exercise patience with performances like this. Nobody tackles. Nobody covers. Nobody blitzes. Everyone out of position. Everyone confused. Other than that, it's pretty encouraging. Can't slow a roll like that, right? Oh,
what is happening here? Like, you want to talk about this is the difference between having a quarterback that's played some.
You got to punt the ball now. You're in mitigation mode.
Yeah,
this is not try to win the game anymore.
Like Belleville's trying to tell Farouk to.
Yeah, if Bevel is, if you need 5, he's going to get you 2.
Right. Watch this.
You need 5, we got you 2.
God. What a mess. Bevel, not the guy.
Oh, I see a burger coming.
Yeah.
That looks ridiculous. Where's that going to go?
We're just going to put it right here. Yep. Thank you so much. Heck yeah.
Wow.
Got a burger and some fondue. You what? Oh, yeah, we're good. Thank you very much. Oh. It's all right.
Okay, I'm in the picture. Okay, we almost got it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wait, go back a little bit the other way.
Got a little more.
A little more that way. Perfect.
Yeah, got it.
The chances of him getting that back right, slim to none. That was awesome.
Should we get Ronnie on the headset here for a second?
Yeah, that would be great. Is he out there?
Yeah, he's right over there. I'll go grab him.
Because I'm 100% get ready to smash this food.
Did you catch that? Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine that Texas is going to do anything but try to just hammer Oklahoma here in the second half of this game. A situation where, they've been so good. Oklahoma's been so good over the last 20 years, and, they've delivered some real beatings to Texas and everybody else in this conference. There's got to be a little of Sarkisian that wants to kind of pour it on here if he can. These wins like this, games like this, when you have the ability to kind of lean on an opponent and make a statement win, not only for this game and the fan base, but for the remainder of the season too. Texas looking to make a real statement here in the second half of this one. Right? I mean, Oklahoma's been so dominant for 20 years, and Texas had some success, but they're going to want to make a point here. And Sark in particular, as somebody who was getting, I would say, mixed reactions and reviews from the Longhorn faithful, just a total domination of Oklahoma will go a long way for him as far as, right?
It's nothing like this game to change the narrative on you. Like, remember Bob Stoops in 98, Oklahoma lost to Mac Brown in Texas 28-3. In 99, Oklahoma came out and had scored 21 points really quickly and lost, but people in a 38-28 loss felt like, hey, look, we've got a shot in this game. And then the next year, it's 63-14, and Bob Stoops is off and running as a legend.
Right. The Oklahoma defense still playing hard. I mean, there's no question about that. Those kids they've shown up. Like they're putting their best effort out there. Like I can't stress that enough from this team. I'll go back and rewatch this game 3 times for our Monday show, but you can't evaluate them and look at them and say they're not out there working hard or trying hard. I mean, Just not good enough right now.
Wide open.
Oh, my
And
God.
He missed him.
He did miss
He
him.
missed him. I mean, that is wide.
Whittingham can play, too.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I mean, definitely should have caught that sucker, though. There's no doubt about
It's not
that.
the worst pass.
No. Definitely not the worst pass.
Jayhawks. Okay, so I'm reading your mind again here.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. It was a bad pass. He's got.
Oh, God. If he could have found a way to get back to the middle of the field, that was going to be a pick six.
If Kansas wins today,
Mm-hmm.
and they've won 3 of their 9 conference games already, tell me again who you think can play for the Big 12 championship game in Arlington.
I look, Kansas is a great story and all. I just can't imagine that they're going to have the depth to keep playing at this level.
I don't think they're playing for it, but if they knock off teams that might play for it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah. I mean, at the end of the
Look at
day, I'm having a hard time believing this is not going to be Oklahoma State Baylor. That survives this. They've got the roster for it. They've got the run games for it. They've got the quarterbacks for it. And they got the coaches for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that both those teams could have multiple losses this year, but I think they're the ones that survive at the end.
That's a touchdown.
That's big time by Kansas. You know, I would have told you that Kansas down 10-0. You know, you wonder how good that team's going to bounce back from that, right? Because success is so new to them. They haven't faced a ton of adversity this year quite yet. And now they find themselves in some for the first time. What's the response going to be? This is the sign of a good coach here. Leopold's got those boys playing at an extremely high level.
You know, Sam, the one thing that I think gives you confidence is having success, right?
Correct.
I mean, you can't really fake it until you make it. That's pretty tough to do on a long-term basis. I think this Kansas team for sure has confidence that maybe they're better than what they are.
Yes.
But they keep winning every week. And that maybe reminds me a little bit of the 2000 OU team. You know, just go from 7-5 to winning a national championship like that. But they just kept winning and winning and winning every week.
Right.
So I think that to take that approach for OU, you just got to try to find some small victories here in this rough spot to develop some people.
I agree.
And if you're a fan, that's fine. Hey, people can have negative outlooks and commentary and all that kind of stuff, and I get the frustration. But if you really are a true fan, you want to hang in for the long run, then that's what you need to watch. Which guys are developing out there?
Yeah, who's improving? I agree 100%. Oh, Texas defense has improved throughout the year. Those guys are getting better, playing with more confidence.
All right, Ronnie's coming over.
Okay.
You want to eat?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. We can all get on.
Chef Greg Lopez.
Greg, Mark Rogers. Good to see you. How are you doing? Sam's got the better end of this deal right now. Okay. Ronnie Crodel here to my left. Greg Lopez here to my right. Tell me about the menu. Sam ordered fondue, and he ordered a burger, and they look fantastic.
We're real proud of that burger. This is the only place on the planet you can get that burger. I get a custom grind in. Worked very hard with some of our purveyors to get that in. I think it is outstanding. It's designed so it can be cooked well done and still be juicy. I've got a secret sauce in there that that keeps the juice in there. So
Can you give me a little bit of hint of what's in the grind?
Oh,
I mean,
you want me to
it's
give
just
up my
no,
secrets?
No, it doesn't have to be a secret. I mean, it can be a little hint.
No, I'm happy to be public with it. I go heavy on the shank in my grind, and
Okay.
there's a lot of gelatin in the shank, which
Okay.
is what keeps it juicy.
Yeah,
So
that's good. So
yeah.
not necessarily fat,
No,
but gelatin.
gelatin, yeah, good stuff for you. Good for the hair and nails.
What else is on the menu here that you really like?
Lunchtime menu. We got a couple of sandwiches. We like to do kind of quick and easy, get you in and out for lunch. We've got our version of a croque monsieur. We call it the Mr. Crispy. It's got a little. We do pickled onions in it, so it's got a little bit of bite to it.
Oh no.
Another kind of like the burger, we do a chicken sandwich, which again we're proud of. You know, I tell people I'm not trying to compete with the chicken business out there.
Right.
We do our own. It's got pickled mustard seeds, which I think is a game changer on it. Everyone who's tried it at this point is always, they ask, oh, what's that little thing that is going on in there? So. What else do we do that I'm proud of? Our chili. I got to brag on our chili. We do bison chili.
Seasoning.
Yeah, we were even selling it even when the weather was hot back in September. We make our own chili paste in house. It's not some out of a can, just dried seasoning. So we work with Benjamin Lee Bison out in Sayre, Oklahoma.
Okay.
That's where I get all my bison from. So keep it Oklahoma. I think it's authentic Oklahoma chili.
Well, I had a take on Twitter earlier today that pickled onions are just not good for anything. If you put them on a plate, they're pretty, but they're not good.
What?
So maybe you can bring me some pickled onions a little bit later today, and I'll try them. And I will be never tried them before, but I know that I don't necessarily like pickles or onions or pickled onions.
Well, I'm going to send you up a Mr.
All right.
Crispy, so you can try the real deal, and you can decide whether or not
I'm
it's
in.
an average
All right.
sandwich.
I will do it. Ronnie, tell me about the hotel. How long have you guys been open here?
Yeah, so we opened up on September 22nd. It's a 92-room upscale boutique hotel, which we're steps away from the campus. We have 66 doubles and 24 kings and 2 New York loft-style suites. And so each room has something different in it that kind of symbols, our ownership took, they made these pictures by hand, and each picture symbols something related to Oklahoma.
I've seen those. And they're all painted in red,
each
right?
one,
I mean,
yes.
so there's something different
Correct.
in every room.
Every room.
Hey, I love it. I got to tour a couple of the rooms with Scott last week, and this place is just fantastic. Now, if you want to get in on a home game day, you're going to have to book for 23 or 24 or what?
Correct. The last 3 home games were pretty much sold out.
Right.
I think we have a couple rooms left for the Baylor game, but
Okay.
other than that, we're pretty much sold out.
But if you want to come at another time, maybe on a weeknight, this is a perfect getaway to come to campus and get to experience how beautiful it is right now. It's a perfect time of the year. So you guys are booking rooms. It's a very affordable rate.
Correct.
Otherwise.
Correct.
Yeah.
So one bar has been a hit, so is Supper Club, but a lot of people with a view on the second floor, you can see campus, the stadium, and come up here, sit outside and just enjoy, a nice local brew. And we have mocktails and we can make whatever you want.
Well, the patio is fantastic. You guys have got a ton of heaters out there and you've got some fire pits. And so no matter how cold it gets outside, you can sit there and enjoy this environment and atmosphere. And there's no better view on campus.
Correct. Yeah. And like I said, you can see campus from here. You can see the stadium, and you can't go wrong staying here. Just coming up here and enjoying the scenery.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, we really appreciate you guys hosting us today.
Thank you.
It's been great for us to be here, and we'll try to hope for something positive to happen in this game a little bit later on. It's not working out, but today might not be the Sooners' day, but there will be better days ahead.
Correct.
All right.
Well, thank you
Ronnie.
for your
We
time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you, Mark.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
we'll
it.
get that
Thank you.
sandwich up to you.
All right, I'll try it. I will go for it. So I'm excited about that. Maybe I will change my mind today. There'll be a game changer on the pickled onions. So we'll see.
Thank you.
I like the rest of the croque monsieur. I like the ham. I like the cheese. I like the bread, all of that stuff. But appreciate it. We got a little better game going on in Lawrence between Kansas and TCU. Kansas fumbled going into the end zone. And TCU was able to go 99 yards after that. And if not for that, I think Kansas would be having a lot bigger lead here. All right, I like reading the text. Best rebound of the game with the camera there, boys. That's right. Javier Garza. It's pretty good. Run clock, if I am Texas, 100%. talking about Kansas depth. Does KU have the depth to build off of? I agree with Sam. I don't think Kansas is in the race for the Big 12 championship, but the more games that they win, they affect who might play for the championship game. Iowa State, not a championship contender this year, but TCU, I think, is a championship contender this year. So a win over TCU today could affect the Horned Frogs' chances of playing in the title game.
That was one of the best burgers I've ever put in my mouth.
Well, he said he had a secret blend that he put in there, and I pressed him on what was in it. He said instead of fat, it was part of the gelatin.
Yeah, I've never tasted anything quite like that. I'm not even gonna lie. It's literally one of the best burgers I've ever had in my entire existence. I would encourage everybody to try it. I'm having a real emotional moment right now. Oh
Okay,
my
right.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about the fondue?
Yeah, it was delicious. I ate an entire burger that was at least 3/4 of a pound, and a bowl of fondue in about 2 seconds. It was excellent.
I'm going to update you on our conversation here. Guess what Chef Lopez said was on their signature item downstairs?
What is it?
Pickled onions. And I told him that I thought pickled onions were straight garbage. So he's going to bring me a sandwich with pickled onions.
Okay, that's the signature sandwich he's bringing up? Okay.
And I don't care how fabulous this place is, and I don't care how much gelatin he puts in a burger. My face will not lie when I bite into one of those. We'll see what happens. We're not the 2 box anymore. Where did the state fair go?
Oh, I don't know. I think Cisco,
Where's Cisco doing?
he pulled it out. So he wanted us to let you guys know. Make sure you stay tuned after the game to the post-game show. Jim and Al will be live from the State Fair. It will absolutely be epic. No question about that. We've also got getting Hamilton. Rashawn Woods will be in the post-game show after the Oklahoma State game. Those guys do an excellent job. Thank you so much. What was your name again? Jamie.
Say hi.
Thank you so much.
Say hi to the camera.
Jamie just learned how to make Hemingways for me because I'm bougie like that. Thank you.
Barely got in there.
Yeah.
Got in there.
Appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you.
That is. I'm not going to call you bougie for that. I mean, it's
I love them.
I mean, if Ernest Hemingway is not bougie.
Right. I just love it. Tastes like a Tide Pod.
What would be a bougie drink?
I'm a big martini guy too. I like just a straight up James Bond.
I mean, bougie people could drink a mimosa, but I don't think that's a bougie drink.
Right.
I don't know.
What's your go-to?
I kind of like frozen drinks. I drink a frozen margarita.
I like a good frozen margarita also.
If I'm in the mood for an old fashioned, would be good. Or maybe some kind of a fancy occasion. But you know me, I'm kind of just a light beer guy.
Yeah. Yeah, the older I get, the more I'm like, it's less about the aesthetic. Like I'm just drinking with my pink drink here. Typically they're a little more pink than that, and they come in a daiquiri glass.
Right. I know you well enough to know that you're not going to knock me out, but I tell you if I thought that was making
soft,
you look bad. Yeah, no. I think you just do whatever you do. It's all good, man. What do you take Oklahoma out of the equation today, Sam? What do you see from Texas? I mean, clearly they're going to face bigger challenges on the defensive side of the ball than they've seen from OU.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's still some work to do up front. I would say this probably one of the better performances their offensive line has had this season, but you can tell they're having a hard time at the second level. A lot of that's got to do with some youth, left tackle spot, the right guard spot. Those guys are still trying to figure it out. Communication is better for Texas today than it has been. You can really see those guys talking to each other, so I think that's helped them a little bit in the run game. Defensively, Texas is, you put them on a track, size, speed, athleticism, vertical, the whole 9 yards, they're going to compete with some of the best teams in the country. It just seems like there's still some overall confusion about what they're doing or what the goal of the entire defense is, and I think they'll get that figured out. This team will be significantly better here in 3 or 4 weeks. Like, I wouldn't want to play them late.
Okay.
At all. Like, I wouldn't want to see any part of Texas in week 8. Like, I think they'll take another pretty decent step this year.
I think they play Baylor at the end of the season. Not sure where the TCU game is, but they're going to have some winnable contests coming up.
Like that Baylor Texas game might be the one that decides the opponent for Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only edge that I would give the Cowboys here is Texas's offensive line doesn't want any part of OSU's defensive front, particularly in the middle.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like that's a great play. Right off the left side. 78 for Texas. Mark is going to be a first-round pick. He's a true freshman. He's going to be a first-round pick. Good Lord.
That's scary for OU. I mean, because, again, that's a nice block on the edge there. That Sark has done a good job recruiting.
Oh, yeah. They've got some dudes coming up front. No question. Now, I want to say they're going to have to replace a right tackle and center next year, but 3 of the 5 will come back.
But they're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, and they just paid all those dudes. Like, there's a bunch of those kids down there. You know, they got 5 legit offensive linemen out of that class a year ago.
My goodness. Did you think we'd be doing this just trying to have garbage time all year? Yeah.
No, I did not.
I agree.
It is our game day live content during OU games is less fun.
And I'm going to eat a pickled onion.
Yeah.
Cause today.
If whatever you're getting delivered here is a half as good as what I just ate, you're in for a treat. Yeah. Even with the pickled onion. You need to eat it with pickled onion on it, though. Like they just had the chef sit down with us, sir. You can't.
And he had his name embroidered on his shirt.
Yeah, like you have to eat it the way that he serves it.
Well, I might eat the pickled onion first.
Said, well. I'm not a fan of the mini straw. The drink straw. I don't know why they put those in. I mean, I guess to stir it up. But
let me ask you this question. I think you can answer it well. Do you ever feel like that if there was a woman across the bar that you wanted to impress, that she would be more impressed with you taking a sip out of a straw?
No.
Of course. So that just settles
Get
the
rid of the
argument
straw.
on
Yeah.
No straws.
No straws.
Especially a small straw, because then you might have to kind of pucker your lips. And,
I've got beautiful lips, I've been told.
But I'm just saying, I don't think that it flatters anyone to be sucking out of a straw. We have a man here with an umbrella, even though it appears that it's not going to rain outside.
Oh, yeah. This is supposed to. We didn't think it was going to rain last night, and we got rained on.
Thank goodness that it rained what it did last night. We were susceptible to the elements, a few big drops. I got home and opened up my computer. It was pretty wet.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, not terrible, but enough.
Brad Pitt says, yeah, no straws.
No straws. No straws, no umbrellas. Immediately remove the umbrella. If you have an umbrella in your drink, you need to.
That needs to come out right now.
There's no reason.
Shout out to my guy, Blue. Brian.
Any of the people that would normally
Mandy.
text me that are upset about the OU performance just quit. It's that bad. You know what?
Oh, yeah. No. It goes quiet pretty quick.
At least, if you're ripping somebody, at least you care. When you get to the point where there's just no communication, that's when you know it's over.
Andy Mosier, we won. Caleb. Too soon? Yes, Andy. You did too much there, sir. Our good friend Wes Sims, friend of the show.
Where's Wes?
He says this is like watching a donkey show in Tijuana.
Has Wes done that? Why didn't we talk about that last week?
There's no doubt in my mind that Wes has seen something like that. None.
Listen, I know he's from Weatherford, but it's not fair to the great people of Weatherford to act like that was something from his upbringing.
He says, you know it's not good, but you can't escape it. Shout out to Wes for being colorful. There's no doubt.
I want to know where is Wes today?
Oh, he's down there at the game.
He is. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's down there at the game. If he wasn't, he'd be sitting right here already obliterated. Oh, that's cool. Bijan Robinson's grandfather was the referee that called touchdown on that Reggie Bush push Matt Leinart into the end.
Oh, the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, how
That's
cool is
very
that?
interesting.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yikes. $35-0.
Meanwhile,
Nothing. I got to see Quinn. I got to see the Evers kid come in the game. Put him in the game. Like you, Moody and Bevel are retreads. Like you got somebody. Put him in the game. Let's see what happens.
I want to share something with you that I didn't tell anybody else. This past week on the Text Connect line station, got a text and it said, "Put Evers in the game now. He will kill it." And my response, I did respond. I don't respond to all those texts, but I did respond. Mr. Evers, this you. From what I've heard in practice, Bevel is the better of the backups. But like we talked about earlier, you never know until you put somebody in the game. And I think it's probably time to give somebody else a chance, at least see what they do. Bevel had a nice, he got a lot of snaps in this game, produced 0 points.
Right.
And so, hey, son, thanks. Good day. Nice effort. Somebody else is going to go out there and see what they can do. That's how you do that.
I mean, I would tell you that.
See, you can't drop back, step, pat the ball, and throw it 3 yards underneath to a guy that's covered.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what he's looked like the last.
And look, so I would have told you a year ago that Caleb Williams or that Spencer Rattler was a better passer than Caleb Williams. I would have told you that. But what Caleb Williams brought to the table as far as his overall athleticism was the X factor that allowed Oklahoma to have the success that they did in the back end of the season. Evers is a true dual threat guy, from what I understand, right?
Yes. I mean, again, in high school.
Right. So you're saying we don't know how that's going to translate to the college field?
I don't think it's necessarily looked like it's translated so far.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The crowd is a little rowdy. They're calling for the pause to be permanent.
We're having a little pause in the action here. It's frozen on the punt formation. There we go.
Where they're spotting the ball, this is not a good thing for OU.
Webb Blanket said Caleb was a straight playmaker, and he was 100%. I would love to talk to the guy that's walking around Norman in the USC hat.
We can.
Like it's a bold move.
Why should we not?
Yeah. I wonder if he would be interested in hopping on the stream with us and discussing his choice today. Brad Pitt says, is Chad Powers available?
Chad Powers would be an upgrade.
Would be.
Think fast, be fast. Think fast, be fast. Look at Josh Heupel. LSU played well the last couple of weeks. Tennessee is rolled into Baton Rouge, got the
and beating their butts.
11 a.m. kickoff.
Yep.
So they didn't have to go in Tiger Stadium at night. Good win. Did you watch that game Thursday night?
The NFL game?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Of course.
Oh, there you go, Ethan.
You worried about Russell Wilson?
I'm worried about Russell Wilson mentally. Like, he's had a weird year, right? Like, it's a weird couple of years for him.
Massive contract.
Yeah, took that massive deal. He's got such a, his story has been nothing but positive. And then this last year, he took a big old personal dump on it. The fan base didn't react the way that maybe he thought they were going to in Seattle. He shows up here to Denver with this new lease on life, and he's just not performing well. But a lot of it's heady stuff, right? Like that last interception he threw. Like, what are you doing, bro? You've been in the league forever now. We've never seen you make a play that bad. Doesn't make any sense.
You got a ball game. You're over, man. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, there you go.
Look,
What was that?
66?
66? Is that what the over was? 66? 68.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Jayhawk in the crowd. If that's not the official mascot and somebody dressed up like that to come to the game, they should give him tickets for the rest of the decade.
Chris says Downs out there still giving great effort, 100%. He's 100%.
I do think that some of the criticism of the coaching staff is valid. Normally, it's just kind of an issue of this or that, but having these guys play a little bit out of position to me is a bigger issue than how they're competing.
Right. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I would 100% agree to that. These guys are being asked to do something that they're not necessarily built to do. Bo on the stream says, honestly wondering what your thoughts on decision making on both sides of the ball.
Why is the offense? To me, I get this. There's a zero there, but they are very much compromised on the quarterback today.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Levy just doesn't there's not a whole lot you can do here.
I mean, end up running for 200 yards, Sam,
right
today. I think that's not terrible.
That's a pretty yes.
Like there's result in points.
Yeah, like this is like being in a NASCAR race and you're the only one out there without a V8 because you don't have a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like they don't have one. So I appreciate I thought the decisions, the game plan wise, were excellent. They had a plan coming into it. Not only are they running the Wildcat formation, they're doing it with multiple players. Like that takes a lot to get going in just a short week of practice. Defensively, I don't believe that they should be running a 3-man front. At the same time, the secondary has been so compromised all season long that they really don't have a choice. So like Mark said just a second ago, they got a bunch of guys playing out of position, being asked to do things that they probably don't have the bodies to do. So bottom line is Oklahoma's doing the best that they can right now, right? Basically, that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Is they're out there just doing the very best that they can.
Touchdown Kansas, extra point coming up.
We got to take a selfie. We've been asked. There you go. Shout out to my friends Blue, Brian, and Mandy that are watching there in Kingfisher. Big win for the Yellow Jackets last night, right? Did Kingfisher get a win?
They got a big game next week. They did get a win. They have Metro Christian coming to Kingfisher.
Mandy has been requesting this photo of you.
A win in that game is a potential district championship win.
Oh God!
42's up.
42-0. Okay.
Here's to radio on Monday.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Cheers to that. That's going to be fun.
Take some phone calls this week. These people deserve a medal. They are still in the stands.
Yeah. Ryan is asking, when does ABC go to another game?
Okay, so this is a good story. The year in 2000, and I was not working there at the time, but people that I know were. The ABC national feed that was sent to Oklahoma City was mistaken. Somehow they didn't send the OU Texas game to Oklahoma City. So you go at 11 o'clock, turn on the OU Texas game. You're expecting it there, another game. OU, of course, jumps out on top. By the time that KOCO gets the ABC feed up of the OU Texas game, OU's already ahead 14-0.
Oh, wow.
And the phone calls.
Oh, I'm sure.
There were nuts. And I think the phone calls will be nuts if I highly doubt that they will let the local affiliate here switch from this game.
I mean, maybe they should do it just
to switch to, but
yeah.
Still.
Brad Pitt, it's time to unhitch the wagon and put the ponies in the barn.
Can I say it's time to shoot the ponies?
It's time to shoot the
At 42-0, they don't need to go in the barn.
Oh, no.
That's a joke, by the way.
We got a great game in
Wasn't
Lawrence,
serious.
Kansas, 24-24. Kansas just kicks off the TCU about a minute and 50 seconds in the third.
My gosh. You really just
No, I didn't see it. What happened?
I don't know. Caught it and stepped out of bounds. I think if he caught it with at least 1 foot in bounds, it'll go to the 25. But
He caught it and stepped out of bounds in. No.
Let's see
So
what
the
they
ball's
put
on the 1?
no, it would be about the 3. But I think if they let's see if they put it on the 25. This guy is a player. Got hurt last year. One of their leading receivers.
Yeah. Sanders?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, they put it on the 25. Thank God.
No booty.
Bevel back out. I'm just telling you right now, the fact that we haven't seen a backup quarterback at this point is just goes with everything that Mark said.
Uh-oh. Oh, I see him. I see him right there.
What is that?
Dude, look at this. This is right up my alley. I don't think the pickled onions can mess
Holy
that up.
crap.
He put extra.
There's onions all through this deal. It's fantastic. For those who aren't listening.
Do you know what is going to happen to my throat after eating those? Oh,
Are you allergic?
Acid reflux is going to.
Oh.
This combined with that, I'll be calling you and like I'll be like a stiff cow.
That looks so good.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. People's minds. Okay, I will.
Good luck.
Cheese on the outside, though.
I muted your mic, so feel free to really smack a little bit if you need to.
Good, except for the onions.
It's real good, except for the onions. I'm going to have to try that.
You might, yeah, go ahead.
That looks amazing.
All that. That's all you.
Yeah, let me.
You'll be able to give a better description.
All right, wish me luck.
Croquet Monsieur. See, Chef Greg did me wrong, man. He put extra onions on there. I told him better for them and better for me. More for you.
Melts in your mouth. The cheese is excellent. The onions add a nice texture. Is that ham?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is amazing.
I know it's amazing.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's just as amazing without the onions. Hey, do you think that I will be able to run to the bathroom and maybe put these onions someplace else when he comes back? Can we fool him?
I'll eat the onions.
You want to eat the onions? You'll have to call in sick on Monday if you have that, all that stuff.
Brad Pitt says, Sam, finish your thoughts on them not bringing in another quarterback. Then they just don't have one. That's what I'm telling you. At the end of the day, the fact that we haven't seen another quarterback means they don't feel comfortable bringing another guy off the bench. Booty, Evers, any of that. This is out of control. And they're just consistently trotting Bevel out there. It is what it is.
I think it's pretty clear they don't like me.
Like Bo says, I will never believe that Bevel is not our best option. That's it, bro. That's all you got. Because there's not a coach in the country that's not throwing something out there. Even if you had a guy that you thought was comparable to Bevel, right? Somebody that was on the same level as Bevel, you're going to see that guy by now.
I'll play devil's advocate on the radio from time to time, but now I'm starting to think that, no, it's time to put in a backup. And not based on performance, but just based on give somebody else a chance to get out there, get some experience. I mean, because, listen, Bevel could go down to an injury or something like that, and this is Oklahoma. You're not trying to go 3-9. While the Big 12 championship game is no longer in the picture, again, only one time in 100 years of football has OU gone 0-4 in the league, and they're about to face potentially 3-0 team.
Right.
All right, we're taking a break here for the end of the third quarter, and I love this place, but I can't. I'm gonna try to perpetrate a lie for Chef Greg. I'm gonna go for these.
Make it happen. Thank you, sir. All right. So, have we learned anything about Mark during the show? Don't trust his opinion on food at all. That was bomb. Incredible. Like, he just doesn't like onions, and I get it. But the cheese on top of that thing was amazing. I don't even know what it's called. I got to get a menu. But the burger, incredible. Like someone said, Chris says Sam knows food. Sir, if you listen to me on the radio at any point in my life when I've been at a restaurant, you will absolutely know if I love it or do not love it. I will give you my honest opinion on food 100%. I love to cook. I love to eat. And I'm telling you right now, this stuff is the burger that I ate earlier is, I'm giving it a 9.9 out of 10. It was amazing. The only thing I would have wanted on it was some cheese, but it doesn't come with cheese because it doesn't need cheese. Incredible. No, I'm talking about the burger I ate earlier. So yeah, food here at the Noun is exceptional.
Can you give me another napkin, please?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got this. 42-0. What do you guys feel like in the chat? Does OU score here?
They'll score, I think, at some point.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Really?
they'll score something.
Oh, I don't know that they will.
My brother says, tell the chef you like your sandwiches deconstructed. I need to send my brother a check for watching us. This is really good, though, without the onions.
With 3-man front is suspect to say the least. I mean, I don't. At some point, you're just like, okay, they're gonna throw the ball on us. We might as well just not let them do one thing. Like, why stay in this defense when they've had success in the run game and the passing game? At least throw a fourth guy out there and see if we can slow up the interior runs. Right? It is. I mean, just sitting here and doing this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, throw it all out there now, right? It's 42-0. This is a glorified scrimmage. Look at the crowd.
They're smart. There's no reason to stay
Wow.
around. There's no reason to stay around for this. But look, this is what's great about that game, though, right, Sam? Is that the Texas fans, they haven't been favored in 13 years.
Right.
They have lost 10 to the last 13. You're going to have to kick them out of the fair.
Oh, yeah. The last time Oklahoma was shut out in any game was 1998 against Texas A&M. Wow.
You know what happened the next year against A&M? Oh, you won 51-6.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here. That's when Bob Stoops said that this is going to work. crazy series with A&M because they got shut out in 98, and A&M, that was the time when they were really good.
Right.
In the 99 game, OU won 51-6 in Norman. The 2000 game was one of the all-time great college football games, Torrance Marshall interception for the touchdown. And then you go to 2003, which is a 77-0 game. And so, 2002, Oklahoma loses at A&M, the first game of the season that they lost. So that had an interesting history while it was going on.
A&M did they win a title in the 90s or competed for one?
They won.
They won one?
The only one that they won in the Big 12 was beating Kansas State.
Okay.
And in the year that Kansas State had a real chance to go on and win the championship.
So I didn't move here until 2000. So I remember A&M, it was kind of like remnants of the Wrecking Crew.
Uh-huh.
They were still Johnny Jolly and some of those guys. Remember Mike Montgomery? They had some dudes that could play. That defense wasn't what it was in 98, 99. But that brand, that stadium, there's nothing like playing in College Station, that's for sure. Oh boy. 48-0. Javier Garza says, my heroes of this game are the Sooners fans who paid $200 a ticket to see this. Yes.
I ate some of the pickled onions, but they were a little too many on there for me. But the sandwich, if you like pickled onions, you're going to love it. I love it without them.
Okay.
What is it called?
What's that?
What's the sandwich called?
We call it the Mr. Crispy.
The Mr. Crispy. What cheese is on top?
Gruyere.
Okay.
Cream on top, yeah.
So the Gruyere cheese on top, incredible. The bread was perfectly toasted.
Perfect.
I loved what the onions did as far as the texture of it.
Okay.
And they had just enough of a acidity to it to the ham was kind of sweet. It is an incredible sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
They're not
Yeah.
messing around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's no joke. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a connoisseur. That burger was unbelievable. I might get another one before we leave. Yeah. Yeah, shout out. I love chefs, man.
I couldn't lie to you about the onions.
I could be a food critic. I think I might just one day want to start a podcast about just food.
Well, we just did.
Did Riley indeed kill OU football? No, Bo. He has not killed OU football. He says, I can't wait to hear from BV in the post-game presser. Hopefully the nice guy persona goes away. Embarrassing isn't even a proper word. I'm curious to know, and I wish there was a button that I could just make these guys pop up on the screen so I could see. If you're watching us, we should be able to just tap into your camera and watch you. I would love to know, for Bo, what exactly do you expect him to say in a post game? Texas is the better team. There's no question about that. They've got the better quarterback. They've got the better defense, right? Sarkisian is a renowned play caller. He's hitting on all cylinders. What exactly do you want Venables to say? I don't have the horses. I don't have the players. That's what this is. He didn't have the horses. And when you look at all the players they lost last year's defense to the NFL, you bring all those guys back, you think this defense looks different? The answer is yes, 100%.
Well, I was a little bit worried about what Brent was going to say, or what he did say after the Kansas State game, which was this was a bad week. And it didn't look like necessarily a bad week to me. You can't use those type of phrases in the press conference week after week after week. And I was going to ask you, when does the head coach lose confidence? I mean,
right.
This is his first time as a head coach. He's got to be thinking, listen, this is the worst loss Oklahoma's taken in the Texas game in 50 years. I mean, am I the right guy for this job? I mean, I'm sure he believes that he is, but there's got to be a little bit of doubt in his mind of what's going on right now.
I feel
no answers.
I feel like coaches at times can make the mistake in not knowing how good their team is coming into the season. I don't think that Venables has sold us anything this year coming into this year. I think that he had a much better understanding of what he had than what we thought that he had. I think he knows what he's got, which is why he hadn't got out of this defense yet. He knows 100%. He knew it. And I sent John Hoover a text message after his press conference after Kansas State. And the text message said, during the presser, I said, they're going to lose this weekend, because you could hear it in his voice as far as what they had to work on moving forward. In the time they had to do it, he wasn't confident going into TCU. And so I think he's trying to do his best by being a head coach and putting on the face and going to the press conference and saying all the things that he needs to say. But if you got behind closed doors and you cracked open a beer and said, tell me what you think, he would have told us coming into the season that it was going to be a long year. I refuse to believe, because he's not, that dude doesn't lie.
He did not have the enthusiasm at the during the practice session that he did at Big 12 Media Days.
Right.
It was just a little different. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Big 12
There's
Media Days.
No way he envisioned this going into
Right.
the TCU game or at any time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he thought that this was a possibility, but you could tell that he was relatively unsure about his football team. And I think that he's done a great job at the podium, just speaking his truths. People want to ask tough questions and what do you think about this and what do you think about that? The one thing this is not is the NFL, and this guy, he's not going to go in on his players or personnel, but he's trying to work with what he's got. I mean, bottom line, he's trying to work with what he's got.
Kansas is playing with their backup quarterback, who had a great, successful day against OU last year.
Look at the time that Kansas has to throw the ball. That was 6 seconds at least. God, that kid sees him a split second earlier. That's a touchdown. Cam Perry says, definitely the worst beatdown of my lifetime.
Cam could be 75 years old. I don't know, but this is bad.
Javier Garza, what's the next step going forward? Great question. I mean, just back to the drawing board. There's not a whole lot they can do until they secure that secondary as far as the defensive front. You've got to know that you're not going to give up big play after big play if you bring in a four-man front, and clearly he doesn't have the confidence there yet. Oh, this kid, come on, dude. Yeah, the fact that they haven't brought somebody else in at this point is telling, to say the least.
You want to talk about coach's confidence. Like I said, Sark doesn't wear those orange rimmed glasses today if he doesn't know that he's winning the game.
100%. Yeah. Who is the worst QB OU plays against the remainder of the season? I would say that Tech probably has the worst QB situation in the league. I would say Oklahoma's probably second. Right? I mean, I'm trying to think. JT Daniels can spin it. He just doesn't have a lot of support.
He's not. He may be done.
JT Daniels?
Yeah. Oh, no, West Virginia. Sorry.
Yeah, West Virginia, yeah.
Jalen Daniels. It's got to be Tech.
Tech's worse,
Well,
yeah.
Texas quarterback situation isn't bad. I mean, Quinn Ewers is a good player.
Yeah, no, Texas quarterback situation is legitimate. Like, he's asking who's the worst QB OU will play against the remainder of the season. It's got to be the kid at Tech. And then after that,
None of them are bad. Hunter
right, none of
Dekkers
them
is
are bad,
okay.
right?
Not great, but
yeah, Iowa State is. Another year that kid will be pretty good.
What? What do you got?
My future mother-in-law just sent me a GIF of a Longhorn, as they all live down there in Burkburnett, Texas. Texas fans. Mark, will you please say hi to my good friend Mandy?
Hi, Mandy. How are you?
Mandy's thinks you're great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Mandy also is great. Mandy played ball here at OU, basketball player.
Sweet.
Early 90s, maybe. I think she's a little bit. I think maybe a class or two older than me. I'm not 100% sure. She could hoop back in the day.
Beginning of the Sherry Cole era.
I don't know that she played for Sherry. We're going to find out, though.
Kansas is trying to get into the end zone here on a 3rd and 12. This game gets tied up at 31. Going to increase your chances on the over. TCU kind of figured this quarterback out. Michigan is a team that I thought they could get in the college football playoff, and they're only up 7 going into the 4th quarter against Indiana.
And he's also requested that you get more food so you can continue to eat on the camera. Something
not
about
a good look.
something about
I don't think it's a good look.
putting things in your mouth, and I'm very uncomfortable as I looked at my phone now.
Not a good look.
Thank you guys for this happened to us the last time. Also, is as the game got out of hand, more and more people joined the stream. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe, like, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. We got open mic situation during Game Day Live. We will, for the remainder of this season, always have the availability for you to just come up here and hop on the mic. We're going to try to figure out. I'll sit down with the boss man and see if there's a way that we can get people to actually join this stream. I know I have the ability to send invites to people. Like, let's see, invite. If I click this, yeah, like I can send this through a messenger, through an email. Like we can invite guests to come onto the live stream.
Sweet.
Which will be cool.
Kansas just missed a really short field goal. Oh, by the way, Texas has got the ball in OU territory again. 10 minutes to go.
This card? Yeah. Yikes. 49-0. Hudson Card in the game for Texas.
Second best quarterback to take a snap today.
They've got backup linemen and everything. Yeah, this is the second team offense they've got in the game. Yikes.
Good Lord. Twitter is an angry space right now.
She was there. Manny was there from 91 to 95.
Angry space. What do you think the point spread is going to be next week for Oklahoma, Kansas?
I thought I was going to get my 10 on like Friday because I said it was going to be 10 for this game, and I thought I was going to get there. I think I got the 9.5 before it got started. Who is it? It's OU and TCU?
No, Kansas.
OU plays Kansas at home?
Yeah. OU's going to be favored.
Oh, with the backups. Well, yeah, if Daniels doesn't play.
Well, I'm just saying, OU was favored by 34 against Kansas last year. I know that it changes from year to year, but still a lot of the same players. They were only in 7, 8, 9 point underdog in this game today.
If Kansas is 100% healthy and Daniels is playing, it would be absurd to me to make OU. I mean, Kansas is the best offense in the league statistically.
So TCU, let me try to make sense of it this way. OU was a 7-point favorite 1 week ago at TCU.
Right, after the Kansas State game.
TCU was a 7-point favorite this week at Kansas.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's a 14-point difference.
Yeah.
If OU has lost so much value in the eyes of Vegas odds makers that there's 14 points gone from the value of the team in 1 week, I'm not telling you that there won't be people I know that don't want to drive to Vegas or Wichita or wherever they can place a bet and want to put any amount of money on it. But I'm just thinking that I'm just telling you the point spread's going to be something close to OU favored or Kansas favored by 3.
Well,
Something like that.
that's a lock of the week. If that's the case, if OU's favorite, if it's anything that OU, if it's Kansas by 7 or OU is favored, I'm locking that.
Kansas will not be favored by 7
Yeah.
points. No chance.
I would still lock him at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I feel comfortable with
Oh no, I
Kansas winning
believe what
the
you're
game.
saying. Yeah.
Kansas will not be favored in Norman by 7. I think we'll also see Dylan Gabriel next week.
Yes.
But how much
Which I would still pick Kansas to win that game by multiple touchdowns.
How much difference would it have made if Dylan Gabriel played today?
The score is probably exactly what yours was. What would you say, 38-14?
Yeah,
It's probably that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Texas is still scoring points.
Yeah.
OU
38,
might have
42.
17 or 21.
Yes.
And since 2015, the loser of this game has scored 24 points.
So I'll tell you right now, the one thing that we did see out of this that I appreciate, that the Willis Wildcat, even with Gabriel at the helm, needs to be something that they have and continue to use throughout the season. Because I think where Dylan Gabriel is failing a lot is 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, and it's like you got to be able to, if it's 2nd and 10 and you don't feel comfortable him throwing a 15-yard out, bring in Willis and go make that try to get that 3rd down more manageable. If you can do that, then you have the option to run it again or pass it if you want to. But I think that addition makes sense.
Yeah, it's been a good wrinkle today. Wow, Texas is Carrot Top is coming in to kick a field goal to make it 52-0.
Is this Dicker still?
No, Dicker is gone.
Okay.
The football gods did owe you a favor there.
Rufus Alexander's on the sidelines. They just panned to him. So I stood on the sidelines to watch this game with Rufus like 2014. And I had to hold the back of his shirt because I thought he was going to run in the field multiple times. You can't go out there.
No.
Like Rufus not having a get back coach is a bold move by OU.
If he was going to run out there today, he already would have.
Yeah.
We're about ready to send it over to the guys at the
Oh, yeah, we probably should do that.
I'm worried about Cisco. He did not 2 boxes for the second half. Boy, sometimes I wonder why I even put out a tweet. I'm going to have to read these responses until tomorrow.
He says, shut it down at 2 minutes remaining in the 4th if it's not a close game.
Is he okay?
He sent that at 12:48.
Tell him
So
to text 1 if he's safe. What does he consider close?
Bo, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here for sure. Thank you guys that were a part of this live stream throughout the day. This is Game Day Live. We're going to do this every single OU game. And when we can set up for an OSU game, we'll do that also.
I think you should ask the question. Right?
Right. Oh, he doesn't look like he's in a great mood.
Yeah.
We can ask. The guy in the USC hat just walked past the camera.
Sometimes I'll wear a hat that's just a hat of a different team. Like I think I've owned a Minnesota Twins hat. I've owned a Seattle Mariners hat at times, and people ask me why.
Why? Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I like it.
Just like the hat.
I like the hat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't typically do that.
Then it becomes an odd conversation because then we just have no answer for him, right?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
Yeah, correct.
So you think we shouldn't ask?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not. I think we've added because the other option is he gets on and he's like, "Yeah, OU sucks." I feel like OU fans have taken enough of beating today.
Asking him without him having the headset on. This has been a crazy game. 13 combined points in the first half, 42 in the third quarter. Can you imagine if you had 42 at half?
That's crazy.
And then we're trying to fight to get the over the total.
And JT Daniels left the game, or not JT. Jalen Daniels left the game in the second quarter, like right before the half. So Kansas trots out a backup. that's better than anything that we've seen from OU today.
I got another text here, and it says, "Yikes! Why didn't they try another quarterback at all?" Again, if this is the narrative, I don't understand it. We can explain it till we're blue in the face. That there isn't a better backup quarterback. This is what the backup quarterback situation is. It's not good.
Right.
They could have played Clint Longley as a backup quarterback who came in and saved the Cowboys one Thanksgiving Day for Roger Staubach. It wouldn't have mattered.
Evers is in right now.
Here we go. And if he scores at this point in the game, it's only going to make that narrative worse.
Right.
This
I would
is
have never
garbage
put
time.
him in the game 5 minutes
Garbage
ago.
time. Should have put him into the third quarter.
That's insane. Why would they do that?
Anyone that's playing right now on the offensive side of the ball can't be too excited about it.
No, 100%. I feel like we didn't see much of Barnes today at all,
No, we did not.
which is weird since he had a 100-yard performance last week.
Yeah.
Uh, 167 games consecutive with a touchdown for Oklahoma.
I think that's going to end.
Well, final thoughts?
I mean, my thought process goes back to what's going to happen next week. Again, is Kansas going to come into Norman favored of all the things in the world you'd ever contemplated from a year ago or 3 weeks ago? And if Kansas isn't favored in Norman, I think that the people that set the lines have lost their mind. But my true final thoughts are that the Noun is fantastic. The food here is great.
Yeah.
The hospitality is good. The drinks are good. The view is spectacular. And so you need to check this place out. They don't do much advertising. Like I said, they're sold out on game days for the rest of the year. But this is a cool place. If you love Norman, you went to school here, there's never been a place on campus like this. So if you want to come down and just have a nice night around town, this is a great place to do it.
I concur. This place is incredible. But Kansas out here doing the darn thing. Love this place. Love the aesthetic of it. If you're into nice places, clean lines, the furniture is comfortable. Like, it literally is a great place to come chill and watch a game. You got plenty of table space all over the place. The bar's fully stocked. Bartenders are creative. The food is excellent. Chef here on staff. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this place. Well done, Mark. You nailed this one.
Thank you. The guy in the USC hat may have left, or we may have a problem on our hands. It's not reemerged. All right, we enjoyed it.
Yep.
Stay tuned here. If you're watching the Sports Animal platforms, the postgame show is going to be on fire. Someone clearly will lose their mind today, I guarantee it. But we'll see you next week with another Game Day Live.